Hello, Sanford. Welcome to the Sanford Sports Radio, and the Howler is a go. I am your host, Jonathan West, and man, have I ever been this happy to come to work, sit in this studio, and do this show for you people, as it is great to be here after a win. A huge win over Miami of Ohio. It is enormous. Now we go to Buffalo. We head to Buffalo with momentum, with our first victory. Sanford has everything on their side. This is enormous for this school. I am ecstatic for this week's game. I am ecstatic for practice. I am ecstatic for the coaching staff. As that staff, I've never seen them as happy as they were this past week, letting the kids have Monday off. As from what I'm hearing, they partied, just not so hard, for the victory. Great to see them get their first win in school history. Now they got to go back to work. They got to settle down. They got to be focused for Buffalo, because that's no easy test. It's no easy test. It's another MAC conference opponent. And when you're playing your conference opponents, it's going to be tough. They're not favored to win this game, but that didn't stop them last week. And we saw what Dante Anderson can do. Let's hope that he does it again this week at Buffalo. But now, let's get off of that and into recruiting. As let's talk about the big prospects. Of course, Cameron Wilson still looking the way of the Coyotes. That is a huge plus for them. Everything looking the Coyotes' way this week after the huge victory. Tanner Patrick, pretty much guaranteed to be coming here. From what I've been hearing, he's just waiting for the right time to commit, so his whole family's there to hear the good news. It's going to be fun to get him in here for a big QB battle next year. Deshaun Hollis, same situation. He's waiting for his cousin, of course. He's waiting for the whole family to be around and excited for that. Flash Gibson is in sort of the same boat. Air Force is still trying to get him back, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Pat Riley has called his brother Mark, and apparently he is going to be coming here. He's going to commit very soon. Joe Irvin, on the other hand, I've gotten word is going to be coming to Sanford to commit. So that's going to be cool. He's going to kind of be in the area when he commits. Now, a guy that's not committing is Claude Fleming, who right now still has Sanford high on his list. He is a big running back that could help this offense immensely. Of course, Daniel Clemens and Kellen Herron on the defensive side of the ball also not committing just yet, but they still look the way of Sanford so far. And Mark Lewis, the tackle, is another guy who's looking to be coming the way of the Coyotes. But I can't get over still last week's victory. It was huge to see Dante Anderson in his first start play as well as he did. That whole team came out to play. The defense looked like they were going to give up early on in that ball game, but the offense started fighting back, gave momentum to the defense, and they put that into play. Leslie Ingram, the hero of the day, with that fumble recovery to seal everything. It's just huge, and I'm hoping that momentum keeps going into next week. All the fans were excited, the kids were excited. Finally, the Coyotes actually did #defend the den. So it's enormous. The first win in school history under their belt. They can now look on to Buffalo. They can be focused on to the next game. And from what I've been hearing from the coaching staff, they couldn't be happier with how this team fought last week and how they finished that ball game. And that's the key word, is finishing the ball game. They didn't allow for Miami of Ohio, even when they were coming down close to the end zone, to possibly win it by 1 point. They didn't give up. They kept fighting. They kept making things happen. And hopefully that same thing happens this week. Dante Anderson is going to be another key component to a victory, I think. His play was extremely solid. We saw what we expected from the freshman. We saw some cracks in him. We saw some weak spots. But one thing he showed us is his running ability is actually a lot better than everyone assumed. We saw him get yards with his feet. We saw him extend the play with his legs, as conveniently he's doing in the highlights that I'm seeing. It's going to be a huge opportunity this week, and I can't wait. We will see you all Saturday on The Call. I've been Jonathan West. We will see you then on the Sanford Sports Radio. Welcome, Sanford. We're in Buffalo, New York, here at Buffalo University, and it is big here as we are just about ready to go for this game. Another MAC conference opportunity. I'm up here in the press box as I get ready to call for you here on the Sanford Sports Radio. The next game for the Sanford College Coyotes, as they are still just thriving off of that first win in school history, and I hope that it works out for the best here this week. This is no weak team though. Buffalo's a tough team. They beat Central Michigan in overtime. So do not be surprised if Buffalo comes out on top, but I'm expecting a tough matchup. I'm expecting these Coyotes to come out here and play their hearts out. They're wearing their all whites today. They want to impress. They want to show that that fight is there from last week, and they want to do something that I don't think a lot of people are expecting them to do, and that's begin their first ever winning streak. We'll see if they can get that done here in the UB Stadium, as it's gonna be fun as we get ready for kickoff here in just a bit. As here we go underway, Luke Lumpkin back to return this one, as he's been a very solid return man. No returns for touchdowns, but a lot of yards coming his way as he gets just short of the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 here under center is Dante Anderson. He's going play action early, throwing it up, and that is double coverage, and Boise Ross will come away with that interception. That is not how these Coyotes wanted to start things off. I can see the dismay up here in the press box on the look of Coach Drew Martin and Coach Darren Wolf's face. As it's Buffalo football to start things off here now after that interception, as Mason Schreck with a 7-yard catch, as that's going to make up a 2nd and 3 now, as no huddle is beginning here for Buffalo. That's going to wear down the defense, and we've seen what happens when they get worn down, as Robinson with a 13-yard gain on the quick slant. That's going to put them into the red zone deep. That's going to be a big worrisome part here. As Roach with the carry, that's a gain of 2. Not much going there as this defense was able to bring him down quickly, but this no huddle is going to take its toll. There in the shotgun still. Handoff goes to Johnson. He spins off one would-be tackler as Jordan Johnson gains 5. 3rd and 3 upcoming now as no huddle continues. Under center still is Roach. He's going to drop back. And he connects with Stephen Young. That ain't your man, Roach. As that is I forget what I was going to say here, but that is just going to be a knee in the end zone. That is going to be a big gain here for Sanford. As Anderson hands off to Lee Mayfield. That's a loss of 1 as Khalil Hodge was all over Mayfield. 2nd and 11 now under center is Dante Anderson, and he's going to drop back, and he's extending the play. We saw him do this to score last week. This time it ends up in an interception. As you had got to be kidding me. That's 2 early picks. Tatum Slack, the man with the interception. There was no slack there. As that is a big interception for Buffalo, as he just hopped up and took that one away from, I believe, Tremaine Dingle. 1st and goal now here once again for Buffalo as they're quickly back on offense. And that's a quick throwaway as Roach can't get the ball to his man in time because, well, pressure was coming in quick. 2nd and 10 now as a man in motion is Shrek. As Roach connects with his tight end Mason Schrick. And that's going to only be a 1-yard gain. They're still going with this no-huddle shotgun formation. As Shriek, the man in motion again. Roach takes the snap. Goes deep. Young in coverage, and that's a catch. Komathi Hosley with a touchdown. Young was all over him, but he comes down with it. 7-0 Buffalo as they're up early as that is another drop of Mayfield. No gain on that one. 2nd and 10, Anderson under center. He's going to drop back here. He connects. No, dropped by Fellows as he bumped into 2 different Buffalo defenders. It's an early 3rd and 10 on this drive. They're setting up a screen. That's Lee Mayfield. Good blocking in front as Mayfield gets enough. 13 yards, first down. This drive ain't over, folks. 1st and 10 shotgun formation. Anderson going play action. Deep down, and that one was nearly intercepted. Intended for Herb Fellows, but Tim Roberts was the only man who could have made a play on that. Luckily, he dropped it. 2nd and 10 now as the handoff goes to Lee Mayfield. Only 1 yard there. As Mayfield can't get anything going. This offense they need to find that click. They need to find that big play to get him going. As there's Merritt and a spin move by the big tight end. 15 yards and a first down. Who knew he had it in him? Go Sean Merritt, as now this offense might have found that one play. 7 yards for Lee Mayfield on the 1st and 10. 2nd and 3 now as Anderson looking to make a play happen, handing off to McTaggart as he checked in, but only, well, not even a gain, a loss of 1 there. 3rd and 4 now and an empty set as Anderson looks to throw, hooks up with Sean Merritt on the short pattern, and that's a gain of 8. Merritt being a useful target here early. 1st and 10, about 2 minutes left here in the first quarter as Mayfield's got room. He's tripped up just short of the marker. They won't give him the first down. It's 2nd and inches now, offset I form as Mayfield gets the carry, but he is stopped immediately. He's just right in front of that marker, folks, inches short. 3rd and inches, and they're going to the option as Anderson powers through a defender, and that's a huge gain down to the 4. 13 yards. That is impressive. I talked about it on the Howler earlier this week. He impressed with his speed, and he impressed there on that option as a 3-yard gain by McTaggart there. Down to the 1 as that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Buffalo's up early 7-0, but Sanford is right at that end zone. You're listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back to the Sanford Sports Radio. It's 7-0 Buffalo on top as the pitch goes out to Lee Mayfield, and that's a touchdown. I couldn't even say I'm Jonathan West here on the call, but that's a touchdown. Sanford, it's about to be all tied up. As Sammy Carter will kick it away here. Eland, the man to return this one, and he's got running room. Wait a minute, he's finally dragged down. Thank you. 42-yard return as that got scary fast. Great field position for Buffalo as the handoff goes to Johnson, and he is dragged down though. That is Richard Cruz, the man that brings him down for a loss of nothing. As it is 3rd and 8 now. As under center is Roach, but there looks to be a false start. And that's going to move them back here. So that's going to bring up a much more difficult 3rd and 13 for Buffalo. This is where the defense has to shine now. 3rd and 13, Roach sets up a screen as I believe that was Colvin or McLaughlin who tried to tackle him early. He's brought down after a gain of 15. It'll be a new set of downs. The handoff goes to Johnson. He'll gain 4 on that carry as this no huddle continues. 2nd and 6. The defense starting to tire. You can see it, but that swing didn't work as that'll fall incomplete. Theo Davis feeling extremely proud of the pressure he's been causing. 3rd and 6 as we've seen some substitutions made on the line as they get the swing this time, but there's Leslie Ingram, the hero last week, makes a 6-yard loss there. 4th and 12, and they're faking it with a run as Malinovich gets enough. You have got to be kidding me. Just enough. That's heartbreaking. That hurts worse than anything. A 12-yard run on a fake punt. That's going to be a new set of downs. And Sherrick gets the target as Shrek gets a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 here is Rowich. Hands off to Johnson as he's going to gain nothing on that one as there was a group of Coyotes there that swarmed. They wanted the fresh meat there at Johnson as it's 3rd and 3 now with this no huddle continuing. Rowich wants to take off. He's taken down. That's Theo Davis picking up the first sack of the day. 4th and 6 and Buffalo's still out there. I'm surprised at this. It's Rowich to the end zone and he's out of bounds. They're saying that's a turnover. As let's see the replay they're showing here in the stadium. I couldn't see, but nonetheless, I'll take the ref's words as Dante Anderson takes back over on offense. And he was looking for Ashley, but connects with Roberts, and that is huge. The 3rd interception of the first half by Anderson, and Tim Roberts just played that extremely well. I don't think Anderson even saw him sitting down there, so he just jumps right in front of Mike Ashley. He's thrown a tad bit behind Ashley, and Roberts just jumps in front. As 1st and 10 here inside the red zone, Johnson gets leveled by Dante McPherson as a gain of 3 there. 2nd and 7 now as Rowich under center, hands back off to Jordan Johnson, and he's dropped again. This time only gains 2 on the carry. 3rd and 5, Rowich dropping back, looking for his man. He's brought down. Shane Townsend picks up his 6th sack of the season. There you go, Townsend. He's been having a great year from that left end spot, and he's been, in my opinion, one of the most surprising players this year. I think Mark Riley, the defensive coordinator, has been very proud of the way Townsend's played. It's 10-7 now after a made field goal by Buffalo as Lumpkin going to return this kick. How far can he take it? Up past the 40, down at the 45. That's what I call a good return, 38 yards. 1st and 10 here, Anderson looks to throw. And he tried to hook up with Jermaine Dingle, but the freshman couldn't bring it in. That's going to be a drop, and 2nd and 10 upcoming. Handoff to Lee Mayfield, and Mayfield trying to find room, can't find anything really. A gain of 3, that'll make it a more manageable 3rd and 7, but not by much. 3rd and 7 out of shotgun, Anderson to throw. He tried to hook up with Fellows, and that was low enough that Fellows could get it, but he can't hold on. It's another drop from Fellows. That's worrisome right now. 1st and 10 for Rowich after a great punt from Sammy Carter. It's a gain of 9 here from Komathi Hosley. That's almost enough for the first. They'll be a yard short. 2nd and 1 after that no huddle. And Rowich's running room in front of him. He's able to get past one defender. That was Dante McPherson, brought down, though, after an 11-yard gain. 1st and 10 here out of the shotgun. Rowich continuing this no huddle. Misses his intended target by a mile. 2nd and 10 under center. Rowich looks to throw. Once again, can't connect with his man. He was looking for Schraek, and that's been the man he's been going to most of the day. 3rd and 10. Rowich in trouble from pressure. He connects with his tight end Schraek, and Schraek gains 2, but they'll still have to punt. Just over 2 minutes remains here in the half. Anderson to throw, connects with Harrison Frazier as Frazier fights for some extra yards. He'll gain a total of 8. 2nd and 2 now. Anderson to throw, setting up the screen. As Mayfield finds enough room for the first down with a gain of 5. Hasn't been a lot of running room today, but those screens have worked to perfection. As Anderson to throw, connects with Frazier, but he can't gain much. And he comes up hurt, clutching the ribs, and that's not good to see. Harrison Frazier's a good player. He hasn't dropped any today, like Mike Ashley just dropped one there as he couldn't hang on. It'll be 3rd and 8 upcoming. As now at a shotgun, Anderson looking to throw. He checks down to Mark Dockery as Dockery's come in for the injured Harrison Frazier, who's going to be out for the rest of this ball game. He'll gain 5, and the offense stays out. 4th and 3, another screen. Mayfield finds room, first down, Sanford. The Coyotes find the first down as this drive continues. 16 seconds, and Anderson looking to throw. He connects with Sean Merritt somehow. Great throw and catch, 17-yard reception. Time dwindling down. They're calling no huddle here. This could be the last play of the half. Merritt connects, touchdown! 12-yard touchdown reception by Sean Merritt. 2 seconds left. And that'll take us to halftime, folks. Sanford on top, 14-10. You're listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. Welcome to the second half, folks. I'm Jonathan West here on the Sanford Sports Radio. It's 14-10, Coyotes on top as Shrek finds the ball there. Roach hooks up with his tight end again, nearly gets enough for the first. 2nd and inches is the call as it's shotgun formation. They go to the option and brought down is Roach. That's Trey McLaughlin. The big middle linebacker brings down the quarterback. 3rd and 3 now after the loss, and it's about to get worse as that seems like it's going to be indeed a false start on Buffalo. They'll move back to 3rd and 8. Under center is Roach here on 3rd and 8 now. Man in motion is Shrake. As Roach dropping back, finds his man, but he can't hold on. Hosley couldn't make the play this time. 4th down, punt it right back. 1st and 10, Anderson hands off to Mayfield. Mayfield can't find room though. Only a gain of 1. Sanford still looking to get that ground game going, and that's a smart idea. Burn that clock at this point. And that they're going to do as Mayfield gets another carry. He's fighting, stays on his feet, and gets to the 50. A gain of 4. That was a tough 4 yards. 3rd and 9 now. Anderson out of the offset eye. He's going to throw. Connects with Herb Fellows. Wide open. 10 yards. First down, Sanford, as that's the first catch for the man wearing number 1, Herb Fellows, today. 1st and 10 now for Anderson as he hands off to Mayfield, as that's going to be another 1-yard gain. And this Sanford crowd, it may be a small part of them, but I'm right over top of them, and they are ecstatic with the way this team's playing here. As that's a nice gain by McTaggart on the reception, 6-yard gain. A much more manageable 3rd and 3 now coming up. Shotgun formation is the defense chance start, and Tremaine Dingle gets on the jet sweep but can't go anywhere but back. A loss of 1. As Ishmael Hargrove, the man that took him down, that's going to mean a punt. 1st and 10 for Roach. He's going to try and take off here. He finds room, tripped up by Shane Townsend at the last second. 2nd and 4 upcoming after the gain of 6. It's 2nd and 4 as under center is Roach. Hand off to Johnson, and Jordan Johnson is dropped. Townsend all over these players today. 3rd and 3, they go to the option, and dragged down by Chris Wood is Roach. He didn't get it. They're not going to give it to him. 4th and inches. They punted it back to Sanford as they'll just run more clock here, it looks like. Nigel McTaggart on the 3-yard carry. 2nd and 7, Anderson under center. They'll go right back to the ground game. Lee Mayfield, as he's tripped up, almost could add enough for the first. That's going to be a gain of 5. 3rd and 2, McTaggart in the ball game. So Anderson lets him have it, and he got close, and they'll give it to him. First down, Coyotes. 1st and 10, shotgun formation. Anderson with play action. Come on, Anderson. Indeed he does. That's Fellows hooking up on the comeback. 13 yards and a first down. Under a minute left here in the third. So they go back to the ground with McTaggart. He'll lose 2, though, as he couldn't find a way around that defensive line. 2nd and 12. This will be the last play of the third, as that is a drop by Mike Ashland. He was wide open, shouldn't have dropped that one. As that will take us to the end of the third. Sanford still on top, 14-10. You're listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. Welcome back to the Sanford Sports Radio. I'm Jonathan West. 1 quarter left, and Sanford still on top as Mark Dockery drops that one. He had it for just a second but couldn't hold on. So that's going to mean a punt back to Buffalo. It's been a tight one ever since Sanford scored. 14-10 still the score here, as Komathi Hosley with another gain, 11 yards, and the first down for Buffalo. 1st and 10 out of the offset eye. Roach to throw. Pressure was coming in, and he can't connect with Malcolm Robinson. He can't hang on. So that's a big drop there. 2nd and 10 is Roach. Looks to connect. He connects with Theo Davis. That's an interception. Good job, Davis. The linebacker jumps up, makes the play. Roach wanted his tight end Shirk again, and that is another big play by this defense. Play action by Anderson. He'll go deep, and it's another interception from this Buffalo team. It's just now a throw, pick situation, as it looked like Fellows was open, but Ross played that perfectly. He played the deep route, and he was able to get the interception. Number 1 gets the pick from the intended football to number 1. As 1st and 10 here for Buffalo, and there is a flag. It's going to be another false start. Buffalo's had a lot of problems jumping early here, so that's going to move them back to 1st and 15 now. Under center is Roach here. He's going to drop back. Looking to run here. Townsend once again drops him. That 15 yards turns into 10 now. And 2nd and 10 for Buffalo, still running this no huddle. Man in motion is Shirk or Shrek or however you pronounce it. Jordan Johnson, though, gets the handoff, and he finds more than enough room. 13 yards and a first down for Buffalo. The defense may be starting to tire out here, as 1st and 10. Shotgun formation here for Buffalo. The handoff goes back to Johnson. This time he stuffed Chris Wood, the man to bring him down. 2nd and 13. Under center is Roach, but once again, folks, false start on Buffalo. Move them back. Now it's 2nd and 18. Things keep coming up. Sanford penalties have not been an issue. 2nd and 18, and that allowed for some rotation to be made, as Jordan Johnson can't go anywhere. Only a gain of 2. Chris Wood once again brings him down. 3rd and long here, 16 to be precise, as Roach needs a lot. He's taken down. Guess who it was? Shane Townsend, number 7 on the season. There you go, kid. As that one forced a fumble, sadly not recovered by Sanford, but a great play, as that's pure power on display by Townsend. First and 10 now as the handoff goes to McTaggart. And he gains 3 on that one. This running game going to be the focus here in the late part of this game. 2nd and 7 now. Under center is Anderson. He's going to throw. Connects with Costello over the middle. We haven't really called Costello's name much. He's the number 2 tight end on this team. He's going to be he's going to get a lot of work in twin tight end sets, as we just saw as McTaggart gets another handoff here on 1st and 10, and he'll pick up 10 yards. First down. McTaggart's gotten a couple more handoffs than normal today. It's 1st and 10. Handoff. No, it's option. And Anderson only can gain 2. Can't get around the defense fast enough. 2nd and 8. Full house. We haven't seen much of this as the handoff goes to McTaggart again. He's got room past the 15 and down at the 11. What a run. Nigel McTaggart. The best run of the season for him so far today. And that is great to see. 1st and 10. They're going to keep this ball on the ground. Indeed, they do. Lee Mayfield only goes back 3 yards. Can't make anything happen. Joe Keels on the tackle. As Anderson looks to throw here on 2nd and 13. Connects with Sean Merritt. That'll be a short gain of 4. Keeps that clock running. We're about at 2 minutes. Anderson to throw towards the end zone, and it's dropped. Herb Fellows had a sure touchdown and can't haul it in. They take the Tracy Weaver field goal, and it's 17-10, Sanford on top. As Rowich to run. He's got yardage, a stiff arm on McLaughlin, but he's brought down after a gain of 9. 2nd and 1 now after the no huddle. Rowich to run. He's brought down. I'm not sure who got to him. They're going to give it to McLaughlin. He gets a little bit of revenge for that stiff arm. 3rd and 8 now. Rowich out of the shotgun connects with Holsey. I'm sorry about that. Mispronunciation a lot today. As 1st and 10 here. Rowich looks to throw out of shotgun and overshoots his intended target. That was Malcolm Robinson. Stephen Young celebrating the misfire there by Rowich as he's going to throw again here. He connects this time as that's Mike DeMonte. First time we're calling his name today. Gain of 7. Less than a minute left. 55 seconds to be precise. As Rowich to throw. He's going to run. A huge hit. That was Lamar Pollard with the sack. Or I'm sorry, Poland, not Pollard. As now Rowich to run again. He finds room, brought down by McLaughlin. That's going to be enough, though, for the first. Gain of 11. Buffalo took their second timeout. They did not take a timeout. The clock is still running as McLaughlin gets to him again. It turns into 2nd and 17 as a big sack by McLaughlin. 4th and 19 after a loss of 2 here. Under center, Jackson, the backup quarterback's in. He's going to heave it downfield. Can't get it. Turnover on downs. Give us the knee. As Anderson set in victory formation. It's all over, folks. For the first time in school history, guess what? The Sanford Coyotes win not just 1 game, but 2 straight. And they have now started their first ever winning streak. This is huge. They now go into another MAC conference game next week. They'll take on the Central Michigan Chippewas and a big quarterback in Cooper Rush. So it's going to be interesting to see how that game goes and see if they can continue their winning ways. They've been close games these past 2, but they're victories nonetheless. It's another week to celebrate and another week to look at everything you did right and to fix everything you did wrong. As the Sanford College Coyotes win again, folks, I have been Jonathan West. You've been listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. We're going to celebrate Victory Week at least one more time. And get ready for the Central Michigan game next week. See you folks then.